Hello everyone and welcome to today's news. In today's newscast, we have protest organizers cite fear of victimization as reason for limited attendance. FLAX Charles calls for better protocols and clear communication. BVI rallies other colonies for support on political freedom. Airport MD says new system now expected on June 15th. We have the details of this and much more when 284 News returns.
At Higher BVI, we're not just about business. We're about empowering lives, and that is because we aspire to inspire. By choosing us, you're supporting a company that believes in equal opportunities, diversity, and community growth. Our mission goes beyond profit. It's about providing HR solutions, fostering talent, and leaving a positive impact. Join us in building a better future, a better BVI. Choose Higher BVI, where your support isn't just a transaction, it's a transformation. Together, we're changing lives in these beautiful Virgin Islands.
Yo, everything good there?
Aye. This thing got me one way, daddy.
What do you mean?
Ever since I hook up with this thing, can't eat, I can't sleep. This is the first thing I touch it when I reach home.
What do you really? Hey, this ain't like you know.
Dad, this thing got me staying home, keeping out of trouble me.
Wow. What your name is?
Shit. I talking about my CCT life.
Don't worry about missing your favorite series, sports, news, and local programming. Come to CCT today and sign up for CCT Live to access over 80 channels. CCT Live. Bring it home.
1 month free trial turn into 5. 5 months turn into, well, you know I watching ball. I even watching football. Dad, Nickelodeon, Paw Patrol. I am hooked. Hook, I tell you.
Hello everyone and welcome to this edition of 284 News. It is Tuesday, June 3rd, 2025. I'm Ron Grant, bringing you the very latest out of Tortola in the Virgin Islands. Thank you so much for joining us and a happy Tuesday's wish to all. A protest held in Road Town on June 2nd, 2025, aimed at addressing various national issues, saw a turnout of fewer than 20 residents. Despite widespread online discourse on the topics raised, organized by businessman and Floyd Heritage Burnett, the demonstration sought to bring attention to concerns such as water shortages, high living costs, inadequate infrastructure, and the absence of a national energy plan. Participants, though few, were vocal in their demands for governmental action. They stood in the town square for approximately 2 hours, holding placards and engaging with passersby. Some attendees expressed that fear of retaliation may have diverted broader participation. Victimization is real, and when you associate with certain parties, there are certain things you can't do, one protester remarked. Political aspirant Aaron Parlon, who has announced his candidacy for District 3 in the upcoming general elections once again, was among those present. He emphasized the importance of civic engagement and the need for leadership that prioritizes the people's interests. Despite the limited physical attendance, the protest garnered significant online attention. Live streams of the event attracted thousands of viewers, indicating a broader public interest in the issues discussed. As of this report, there has been no official response from the government regarding the protest. The Ministry of Health and Social Development is assuring residents on Virgin Gorda that the ambulance is fully operational. In a statement Friday, the ministry said it acknowledges the recent public concern surrounding the operational status of the ambulance on Virgin Gorda. The statement said that the ambulance is fully operational, currently in service, and prepared to respond promptly to any medical emergencies on the island. According to the statement, there was a brief period when the ambulance underwent routine servicing, adding during that time, contingency measures were implemented to ensure uninterrupted emergency response capabilities. While the Ministry of Health seeks to reassure Virgin Gorda residents about status of the ambulance, a resident and former legislator, Shireen FLAX Charles, says they are fed up with the lack of proper communication about such issues on the island. FLAX Charles was one of the persons who posted on social media about the ambulance being non-operational. During an interview on ZBVI, FLAX Charles explains what has been happening.
There are two ambulances on Gorda. I think we received one last year as a donation from one of the resorts. That ambulance, the newer one, this week developed some sort of a power steering line problem. They do not use a mechanic on Gorda, so they had to bring a maintenance person from Tortola who had to take the path back to Tortola to do some repairs to it. They were unable to get that ambulance up and running. The concern is that the older ambulance, which should have been operational for backup, was also down, and we only learned that was down for months. It's been down for months. We only learned that when the new ambulance had the issue. And we know that there will be issues with vehicles breaking down, but the issue that I think that we had, is that there was no communication to the public. When we found out, I made some calls. The PS didn't know, wasn't aware that there was a challenge, and I was told that they didn't think that the CEO knew either. And all day, they went by without putting a plan in place. The personnel who should know, who use the ambulance, who has to operate the ambulance, the communication was not in place. Up until nightfall, when they were saying that they had a contingency plan, to be honest, I don't believe that was true. They ended up using a vehicle that they had here on Gorda at the clinic that the orderlies used to do their running around, picking up persons who have to come from town or whatever, and they try to retrofit that as best they could, so that in the event of an emergency, there was something there to be used. Since then, the ambulance, the new ambulance, is now operating because they got it repaired, and the old ambulance, they're still waiting on this fuel pump. I hope that does not take as long as it took them to get the pad for the backup generator.
FLAX Charles is calling for proper protocols in these instances and for better communication from those responsible.
Well, I think that the entire territory is fed up because I from what I am seeing, it's not only happening on Gorda, it's happening throughout the territory. And a lot of it is a lack of communication. If people know that something is going to happen or that something broke down or whatever the case is, people will understand and they will make provision. But the communication piece is not there. And while the sister islands are most times at a disadvantage, in my opinion, the problem exists in Tortola as well. Because I get the calls on a regular basis from persons in Tortola as well. I see it in the chats where you have to be calling, trying to help people who are having, whether it's water, whether it's electricity, whatever the case is. Some of the agencies are trying and doing a little bit better in terms of communication. But the health piece, I'm not sure what the issue is in terms of the lack of communication. But certainly they need to do better when it comes to that. And for me, it's an internal issue, and they need to fix the communication piece inside so that the public knows what is happening on a regular. And I have to give it to the staff at the clinic here on Gorda. They do the best that they can with what they have. And I think that the protocols, there should be protocols in place. The ambulance is down. This is what we do. It should be automatic. It should be automatic. We've been in the position before. If you might recall, some time ago, we had this issue before with the ambulance. So why is it that they have to try to figure out what to do?
Up next, the 2025 hurricane season starts with a 60% chance of above normal activity. These and more stories when Tweet 4 News returns.
most reliable and affordable fiber internet service is here for you. Look out for fire in these new locations: Slaney, Duff Bottom, Manual Reef, Seacows Bay, Albion, Hannah's, Palestina, Pleasant Valley, and Havers. Fiber is in your area. Call 444-4444 or visit a CCT store to find out more and bring it home. More locations coming soon.
Just give me my service. Yeah. Just give me my service.
Just give me my service.
Make the switch to CCT and get connected today. Unlimited talk, text, and data. Visit any CCT store or call us at 444-4444. CCT, Life Unlimited.
Welcome back, everyone, and thank you all for sticking with us. The BVI's Special Envoy, Mr. Benito Wheatley, in an impassioned plea, recently rallied on the nation's classified as administering powers to set aside their national interest in support of the self-determination and a call for political freedom of the 17 remaining territories over which they have control, who fall under the responsibility of the United Nations Special Committee on Decolonization. Now, in his passionate remarks, Envoy Wheatley outlined a number of key factors.
The participation of the British Virgin Islands in this exercise and the other elements of the United Nations Decolonization Framework is for the explicit purpose of garnering international support for our self-determination. Our goal is to become a truly free people and society. We do not want power to be exercised over us in perpetuity by London. The inequitable nature of the relationship is disruptive and places our financial services sector and wider economy at risk. We do not want a British governor sitting in our cabinet, looking over the shoulder of our premier and his ministers to monitor every decision that they make. This is a huge indignity to us as a proud people whose hard work has made the government financially self-sufficient. We have received no financial transfers from the United Kingdom to fund our budget since 1978. Let me be clear. The BVI does not subscribe to the concept of colonialism by consent, which we see as an effort by some to normalize colonialism in its current form and present it as a modern partnership that the subjected peoples should accept. What the BVI wants is to be sovereign and free. Free of the remaining vestiges of colonialism. Our self-determination will not be complete until we achieve a full measure of self-government.
In his address at the recently concluded UN Pacific Regional Seminar on Decolonization hosted by the government of Timor-Leste in the country's capital, Delhi, Mr. Wheatley also stated that the BVI is ready for a change of political status.
Excellencies, I am very pleased to report that the BVI continues to take meaningful steps toward full political freedom. The C-24 visiting mission in 2024 was a game changer for us. For the first time in the lifetime of many of our people, there was a serious discussion on our political future. All local stakeholders were able to freely express their views. Their perspectives and sentiments are clearly captured in the report of the visiting mission published in late January. The findings are clear. The BVI is ready for a change of political status. Among other things, the report recommends full internal self-government and the timetable for independence as two preliminary steps. It also recommends a territory-wide education program on achieving a full measure of self-government, as requested by local stakeholders.
Now, on the matter of the role of the UN system in progressing the self-determination of the territories, he called for more backing from UN agencies to assist the territories in advancing their sustainable development and climate resilience. A technical glitch has caused a delay in the implementing of the new parking meter system at the TB-Lettsome International Airport. That's according to Managing Director at the BVI Airports Authority, Kurt Minal. Minal said this new system should have been instituted on June 1st, but it would now be done within the next 2 weeks.
But we're having some technical difficulties, so we have pushed the start date to the 15th of June. The guys just updated me this morning that they had those technical difficulties, so we're forced to push it. But we will be putting in some type of measures to manually collect, because I think from what they've told me, the arms are working. It's just the general system itself that is not all together. So there will be some form of manual collection. So it's progressing fine. Actually, last week, the regulator, ASI, along with the governor, visited, and they were very satisfied with how the work is progressing. So the implementation of the new parking system and this standoff zone, they would be commissioned in tandem. So by the 15th, both would be in place. You would expect to you come into the airport via the normal route, but then you take the next right and an immediate left into the car park near to where the taxi driver's booth is, and then you would drive heading east, and the drop-off zone would be along that wall there.
When the standoff zone is implemented, it means there will be no drop-offs and pickups in front of the terminal building. Manal was asked what would happen during heavy rainfall.
So that is actually an issue that has been brought up from the beginning, and we're making plans to actually develop or implement a canopy in the area. So that would be an additional expense for us, yes. But of course, it would be in the public's interest, and of course, considering the guest experience and our users' experience and comfort, we will have to put in a canopy. I'll give you an actual timeline a little later.
With an above normal hurricane season expected, government and BVI disaster management officials are ramping up the territory's preparedness efforts. The public is also being called upon to make early preparations and not be caught off guard. The 2025 Atlantic hurricane season officially began yesterday, June 1st. Director at the Department of Disaster Management, Mr. Jason Penn, said that based on information from Colorado State University and NOAA, there is a 60% above average prediction in this present hurricane season.
Which brings us to approximately 17 named storms, 9 hurricanes, 4 major hurricanes. Although this figure is slightly down from last year, it's still expected to be a very active season, and cautions should begin or start making the necessary preparations. One of the things that we've been noticing is the sea surface temperatures, why that figure might be down a bit. Because around this time, the temperatures were a lot more warmer across the whole Eastern Atlantic Caribbean seaboard. But nevertheless, they still do expect a very active season. From that standpoint, seeing that the season is expected or predicted to be above normal, from the government standpoint, we've already went ahead and started checking our emergency shelters. That list should be coming out shortly. We should begin checking the marine shelters very soon. We also have our National Disaster Management Council meeting, which is held every year. That would be coming up soon as well this week. So you'll be hearing more about that maybe in the media circles after the meeting. We're also ramping up in other areas, and you'll hear more about those as well in terms of the various cleanups, other activities in terms of social services, social welfare. You'll be hearing more about that too as well.
Penn is urging the public to formulate their early response plans while the season is quiet.
You should figure out what is needed, when you need it by, and what alternatives you may have. Saying things like that is, now is the time to maybe check your homes, see what supplies you would need. If you have a generator, if you need one, where you can get one. If you need solar type equipment, where you can purchase them, how much you would need. Or if you need to make alternative arrangements in terms of where you would stay if something were to happen, now is the time to start to look at these particular things and include them within your plan. And you should start now. Things are pretty quiet, but as the Saharan dust and everything else begins to settle, that as we move further into the season, there is a possibility you would see storms or systems begin to develop. So if you can make your preparations now while things are quiet, that would be the best time to do so. I should also encourage persons to continue monitoring, be attentive, look at credible sources. That, again, the NOAA, National Hurricane Center, Antigua Met information from ourselves. We provide as much information as can to keep persons abreast of developments and what are the next steps that they should have. So the season is about to kick off, and as I said, for the upcoming weeks, there'll be more information that we share with the public in terms of how they could prepare, things they could do, or other things that would be in place to maybe assist as you go further down into the season.
Okay. All right, listen.
Up next, 4 team members earn global recognition in aviation training, and CHUNG and WHEATLEY-ADAMS sweep titles and fan favorite awards. We have these and more stories coming right up.
My name is Henry Bosch. I work for PPG. I'm here to explain to you the use of the Deltron NXT paint line and Enviro-based high performance, one being solvent-borne and the next being water-borne. The difference is that one is totally manufactured with rosins and thinners and all the good stuff that solvents bring versus our new technology, which is waterborne, which is 100% latex. What we're gonna do is that we reduce the solvent-borne with a DT885, which is a mid-temp reducer, and the waterborne uses T494, which is a waterborne reducer. We will today be using either DCU 2042, which is a speed clear, or we will be using DCU 2021, which is a classic. We have here our equipment. We have 8-ounce measuring cups, and we also have our 32-ounce mixing cup. We will also have with us our Venturi. This is a blower for us to dry the waterborne paint, which speeds up the process. The good thing about waterborne paint is that as soon as it evaporates, you're good to go. So now Gilligan will dilute the waterborne paint with the waterborne reducer. We made 8 ounces, that would be 1.6 ounce. It always has to be properly mixed until we get an even mixture within the paint mixing cup. So when we spray, we don't see uneven coats of color. So right now we're filling our paint gun with 8 ounces of diluted paint. We're gonna see how far 8 ounces will take us. Waterborne paint seems to look blotchy on your first coat. Don't pay no mind to that. Don't try to achieve full coverage on your first spray. Excellent. Let it dry. So the process in waterborne is 2 even coats, and then we have what we call a dust coat. Well, now we're gonna have Mr. Brown apply the first coat of clear on his waterborne panel. We'll let it flash off, and then he'll come back and coat it with his second coat to finish it off. As you had seen in the previous shots, we had a little blotchiness, and you'll see some patches. That's all due on purpose to sandpaper to prove that with Enviro-based high performance, all technicians, the body work has to end at 800 grit or plus. Well, Enviro-based is like we're trying to shift everyone into that slowly but surely. The entire west coast of the United States and all of Canada has already been on waterborne for the past 10 years. And now soon it'll be the eastern seaboard, which covers the Caribbean. So when that happens, we'll all be affected. So it's best to start now, start trying and applying waterborne, because eventually everyone will be on it. And referring to technicians, it's less harmful because it doesn't have all the toxic chemicals that solvent-borne paints do.
Welcome back, everyone, and thanks for sticking with us. In another major milestone, the BVI Airports Authority has announced that they are celebrating a major milestone in staff development, as 4 team members have successfully completed aviation training programs. In a recent press announcement, it was announced that Deputy Managers Ms. Paulette Cruz and Ms. Rikija Foy have earned the prestigious designation of International Airport Professional after completing the Airport Management Professional Accreditation Program. The program is said to be a rigorous one, globally recognized program jointly delivered by Airports Council International and the International Civil Aviation Organization. Meanwhile, Mr. Tristan Maduro and Mr. Matai Fred have successfully completed the Airdrome and Approach Control Diploma from the Trinidad and Tobago Civil Aviation Training Center. This achievement paves the way for both gentlemen to pursue their local licenses and begin serving as certified air traffic controllers within the Virgin Islands. Managing Director Mr. Kurt A.G. Manal said that the authority remains steadfast in its commitment to excellence, safety, and continuous learning. He added that this accomplishment not only distinguishes them as leaders in airport management, but also strengthens the authority's operational capabilities in line with international best practices. Camilla Chung and Dakari Wheatley-Adams have been crowned Mr. and Miss H. Lavi Stout Community College 2025 following a standout performance at the college's highly anticipated annual pageant on Sunday, June 1st. Now, the 2 new campus royalties were among 5 students who initially expressed interest in the competition. Of the 5, 4 took to the stage, with the talent segment emerging as one of the most eagerly awaited portions of the evening. Here's a look at how things unfolded.
All the pain and the truth I wear like a battle wound. So ashamed, so confused, I was broken and bruised. Now I'm a warrior. Now I've got thicker skin. I'm a warrior. I'm stronger than I've ever been, and my armor is made of steel. You can't get in. I'm a warrior.
So tonight I'm gonna show you all. Cause when I'm walking with you, I watch your whole room change. Cause baby, that's what you do. No, my baby, don't blame it on my confidence. Don't blame it on your measurement. Shut that down on sight. Shut it. We out there dripping in finesse. It don't make no sense. Dripping in finesse. You know, dripping in finesse. It don't make no sense. Dripping in finesse.
If you come to work but mean something more, turn you into what you never signed up for. And when another girl comes around, they start to mock you and put you down. They want to see you twist and pose. They want to see beneath your clothes. They want what they don't ask their own wife. Playing with your future, messing with your life. Before I lose myself in this insanity, or act enraged and lose my humanity, I let them keep their games and their money. I'll hold my head high with dignity.
Chung and Wheatley-Adams dominated every judge segment, ultimately taking home top honors in the evening's competitions. In addition to their victories in the main categories, they also earned accolades for popularity and photogenic qualities. That is it for today's News Roundup. Be sure to follow us for your daily news updates at tweet4media.com and like us on Facebook at tweet4media and tweet4bvi on Instagram and X, formerly Twitter. I'm Ron Grant. Do have a safe and enjoyable evening. A happy Tuesday's wish to all. Goodbye.